For this homemade hummus recipe, you're going to need 1/3 cup of tahini, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a half teaspoon each of salt, paprika, and cumin, 2 medium garlic cloves, the juice of 1 lemon, and a 15-ounce can of chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. So for my first step here, I'm juicing 1 large lemon. I like my hummus pretty lemony, but you could honestly use just a half of the large lemon and it would still taste pretty great. I wanted to do this first step since I could spoon out any seeds that I had to add, seeds that I had in the blender cup before I had to add any of my other ingredients, because otherwise it'd be pretty tricky to get them out. Next here I am peeling 2 garlic cloves. I crush them and then I chop them up. You don't actually need to chop them since they'll be going into a NutriBullet or a food processor, but I just wanted to be sure they'd be pureed pretty well, so I didn't get any random mouthfuls of garlic. And here I added the spices with olive oil, and I'm measuring out the tahini, 1/3 of a cup. Don't do what I just did. Get a spatula before you pour the tahini, and this way you won't have to make a mess all over your blending cup. I had to go get a napkin just to wipe off the excess. And finally here I'm adding just 2 tablespoons of cold water. And take that mixture and blend it to puree before you add the chickpeas. And in a sink, take a colander and pour the chickpeas into it and rinse them off until you don't see any more foaming. And if you want to, try and remove any excess skin from them. That's what I'm picking out of the bowl right now. It'll just give you a smoother consistency. Here I just added a little bit more water, and take your chickpea mixture and put it in the NutriBullet and pulse it until you get a smooth or desired consistency. Halfway through, I used my spatula to scrape down the sides, just so that I could mix it together and make sure that there weren't any whole beans left. This is the texture that I got from my hummus. If you added a bit more water or olive oil, you may get or if you had a better blender, honestly, you'd probably get a smoother consistency than this, but I really like the added texture. Now that all that's left is to find a container for your homemade hummus, and then enjoy with some peanut butter veggies.